How to train a dog to come back off leash. One of the most vital skills you can teach your dog is the ability to come back when called, especially when off leash. This skill is crucial not only for your dog's safety but also for your peace of mind during outdoor activities. Whether you're at a park, hiking in the woods, or simply in your own backyard, knowing that your dog will return on command can transform your outdoor experiences together. A reliable recall makes outings more enjoyable and less stressful, allowing your dog some freedom while keeping them safe. In this guide, we will explore a comprehensive, step-by-step approach to training your dog to master the recall command. From choosing the right environment and using high-value rewards to gradually introducing distractions and practicing in different settings, each step is designed to build upon the previous one, ensuring a solid foundation for your dog's training. This process not only enhances your dog's obedience but also strengthens the bond between you as you work together towards achieving a dependable recall. Follow these steps carefully, and you will equip your dog with the skills needed to navigate the world off-leash safely and happily. 1. Start in a controlled environment. To begin training your dog to come back when called while off-leash, it's essential to start in a controlled environment. This foundational step ensures that your dog can learn without distractions or hazards that could derail their focus or put them in danger. A controlled environment could be a quiet room inside your home or a securely fenced backyard. The space should be free from loud noises, other animals, and too many people. The goal is to make it as easy as possible for your dog to concentrate on your commands and not be tempted or scared by external stimuli. In this stage, keep your dog on a short leash initially. This will help you guide them back to you if they do not respond to your cue word immediately. Use this setup to create a strong association between the cue word and the action of returning to you. Consistency is key, so try to conduct your training sessions around the same time each day and use the same tone of voice when giving the cue. This controlled setting not only helps your dog learn the expected behavior in a safe environment but also builds their confidence and trust in you. As your dog becomes more consistent in responding to your recall command in this distraction-free environment, you can gradually start introducing more challenging scenarios that mimic the real world more closely. 2. Use a high-value reward. Using a high-value reward is critical in teaching your dog to come back when called, especially when off-leash. A high-value reward refers to a treat, toy, or any other incentive that your dog finds particularly irresistible and motivating. This reward should stand out from the usual treats or playthings your dog may receive daily. Selecting the right high-value reward involves understanding your dog's preferences. Some dogs may be motivated more by food, such as small pieces of chicken, cheese, or specially made dog treats that are only used during training sessions. Others might respond better to toys, like a favorite ball or a tug toy, especially if they are more play-oriented than food-driven. Once you have identified the perfect high-value reward, it becomes a powerful tool in your training arsenal. Use this reward exclusively for recall training to create a strong association between the action of coming back to you and receiving something truly special. This exclusivity helps to elevate the importance of the recall command in the dog's mind, making them more likely to respond quickly and eagerly. During training sessions, keep the rewards handy and give them immediately after your dog successfully comes to you. The immediate gratification reinforces the behavior you want to encourage. Over time, this reinforcement strategy solidifies the dog's understanding that coming back to you results in highly desirable outcomes. Consistently using high-value rewards not only makes the training process more effective but also more enjoyable for your dog. They learn to associate the recall command with positive experiences, which enhances their overall eagerness to comply and strengthens your bond. This approach is especially useful in challenging environments where your dog might be tempted to ignore your calls. 3. Introduce the cue word. Introducing the cue word is a pivotal step in recall training, as it establishes the specific command you will use to call your dog back to you. The choice of a cue word, such as come or here, should be deliberate, as it will be the signal you consistently use to indicate that you want your dog to return. It's crucial to select a word that isn't commonly used in other contexts during your day-to-day interactions, to avoid confusing your dog. Once you've chosen your cue word, begin by using it in a very controlled setting where there are minimal distractions. This could be inside your home or in a quiet section of your yard. Start by standing just a short distance away from your dog. As you call out the cue word, use an enthusiastic tone to make it exciting and inviting. It's important that your voice conveys positivity and encouragement, as dogs are very responsive to their owner's emotions and tones. At the moment your dog begins to move towards you, show verbal and visual excitement. This could be through words of encouragement or physical gestures, like kneeling down or opening your arms. The goal is to make each recall a positive and rewarding experience for your dog. When your dog reaches you, immediately reward them with a high-value treat or their favorite toy. along with abundant praise. This immediate reinforcement helps your dog connect the action of coming to you with a positive outcome, solidifying the behavior you want to encourage. Repeat this exercise frequently, gradually increasing the distance as your dog becomes more responsive. Always ensure that the rewards and your praise are given right after your dog completes the action, to reinforce the behavior effectively, incorporating varied tones, different levels of excitement, and occasionally changing the reward can keep the training dynamic and maintain your dog's interest. Over time, as your dog masters coming to you on cue in a distraction-free environment, you can start to introduce new challenges, such as different locations and the presence of distractions. This progression helps to cement the recall command, ensuring your dog understands and responds to it reliably, regardless of the situation. 4. Gradually increase the distance. Gradually increasing the distance from which you call your dog is a crucial aspect of recall training, serving to reinforce their response to your commands across various ranges. As your dog becomes more consistent in responding to the cue in a controlled environment, it's time to extend the challenge to enhance their reliability. Start by gradually increasing your distance in small increments. If your dog has been reliably coming from 5 feet away, extend it to 10 feet, then 15, and so on. This gradual progression allows your dog to adjust to the increased difficulty without becoming overwhelmed or distracted. It's important to only increase the distance after your dog has demonstrated consistent success at the current range. As you increase the distance, continue using a high-value reward to maintain your dog's motivation. Remember, the further away you are, the more tempting distractions can become for your dog. Keeping the reward highly enticing ensures that your command remains the most attractive option. In addition to extending the physical distance, begin to incorporate slight variations in the environment during these training sessions. For example, practice in different rooms of the house or move to various parts of the yard. Each new setting brings its own set of distractions and challenges, which can help generalize the behavior across different contexts. Maintain a positive and encouraging tone each time you call your dog. Your voice is a powerful tool that can help bridge the distance between you. Even from afar, a cheerful, enthusiastic call can motivate your dog to return to you quickly. Throughout this process, be patient and observant. If your dog struggles at a new distance or in a different environment, it may be necessary to temporarily reduce the distance again until they regain confidence. Always end each training session on a positive note. With a successful recall, to ensure that your dog associates the training with positive outcomes, by progressively increasing the distance and complexity of the recall training, you are helping your dog build confidence and reliability in their response to your commands. This gradual approach not only enhances the effectiveness of the training but also promotes a deeper bond between you and your dog as you work together toward a common goal. 5. Add distractions. Adding distractions to your dog's recall training is an essential step to ensure their response remains reliable in any situation. As your dog becomes proficient at coming to you in a controlled environment with minimal distractions, it's important to start introducing more realistic scenarios that they will encounter in daily life. Begin by introducing mild distractions, which could include the presence of another person in the room, playing a low-volume television or radio, or having a toy nearby that isn't as high value as the recall reward. The key is to start with distractions that are noticeable but not overwhelming, allowing your dog to learn to focus on your command despite minor interruptions. As your dog demonstrates the ability to come when called with these lighter distractions, gradually increase the challenge. This can involve practicing in a park with other people and dogs at a distance, introducing the sound of traffic, or having someone toss a ball or a toy near them while you call. Each new type of distraction offers a learning opportunity and prepares your dog for unexpected situations. During this phase, it's crucial to continue using high-value rewards and abundant praise. The more enticing the reward, the more likely your dog will choose to come to you over investigating a distraction. Also, be consistent in your use of the cue word and maintain an enthusiastic, positive tone to capture your dog's attention away from distractions. Be patient and adjust the difficulty of distractions based on your dog's success rate. If your dog fails to respond reliably, it might be necessary to reduce the distraction level or shorten the distance of the recall until they can succeed consistently. This adaptive approach helps to avoid frustrating your dog and ensures a positive learning environment. It's also beneficial to practice recall with distractions at various times of day and in different locations. This variability helps solidify the behavior, teaching your dog that the recall command is applicable and rewarding no matter the environment or situation. Adding distractions step by step not only tests and strengthens your dog's recall but also enhances their overall obedience and attentiveness. This part of training is vital for safety and confidence, especially in situations where being off-leash is common. like hiking or visiting dog parks. By thoroughly preparing your dog to handle distractions, you ensure they remain safe and responsive no matter what enticements they might encounter in the real world. 6. Use a long line. Using a long line during the transition from controlled to open environments is an effective strategy in recall training. A long line is a leash that typically ranges from 20 to 30 feet, offering your dog more freedom while still maintaining your control over their movements. This tool is particularly useful when you begin to introduce your dog to larger, more open spaces where they are exposed to more distractions. The long line allows your dog to feel the independence of being off-leash without the full risk of running away or getting into unsafe situations. It also gives you the peace of mind to allow your dog some leeway to explore, which is an essential part of their learning and social development. As your dog ventures out further from you, the long line ensures they can only go a set distance, helping to reinforce boundaries and the range within which they should return when called. When you begin using the long line, start in a familiar environment, such as a large backyard or a quiet park. Let your dog explore the limits of the leash, and practice the recall by calling them back at various distances. The physical restraint of the long line helps to gently guide your dog back if they do not respond initially, making it a useful tool for reinforcing the recall command without chasing or raising your voice excessively. As your dog becomes more comfortable and responsive with the long line in a familiar setting, gradually introduce more challenging environments. These could include busier parks, trails, or areas with natural wildlife. The key is to slowly increase the level of distractions and the complexity of the environment, allowing your dog to adapt at a manageable pace. Throughout the training sessions with a long line, continue to use high-value rewards and positive reinforcements. Each successful recall should be met with great enthusiasm and rewards, reinforcing the dog's decision to come back even with the temptation of a wider space and new stimuli. Be attentive to your dog's behavior during these sessions. Watch for signs of frustration or confusion, and adjust your training approach as needed. If your dog consistently struggles to respond in more distracting environments, it may be necessary to take a step back and reinforce training in simpler settings again before progressing. Ultimately, the long line serves as a bridge between controlled training and the freedom of off-leash adventures. It allows for safe, effective training that prepares your dog for real-world situations where they need to listen and respond, despite numerous distractions and greater distances. 7. Practice regularly. Practicing recall training regularly in various locations and under different conditions is vital for reinforcing your dog's responsiveness to the recall command. Consistent practice not only solidifies the behavior but also helps your dog generalize the recall across different environments and situations. Here's how to effectively implement regular practice in your training regimen. Frequency of practice. Aim to practice recall at least once a day in the early stages of training. As your dog becomes more reliable, you can adjust the frequency, but it's still important to have regular sessions to maintain and refine the skill. Even short, 5-minute sessions can be highly effective if done consistently. Variety of locations. Change the training locations to expose your dog to different surroundings. Start with quieter, less distracting environments and gradually move to more challenging locations, such as parks with other dogs, areas with wildlife, or places with noisy activities. This helps your dog learn to respond to your cues in any situation. Different times of day. Practicing at different times of the day can introduce your dog to varying levels of activity and different environmental stimuli. Early morning might be quieter, while afternoon sessions might present more distractions. This variation ensures that your dog can reliably respond to your command regardless of the time and associated distractions. Varying weather conditions. If safe, practice recall in different weather conditions: sunny days, windy conditions, and light rain. This helps your dog learn that regardless of the weather, the expectation to return when called remains the same. Incorporating distractions. As your dog progresses, actively incorporate distractions into your training sessions. This could involve other people throwing balls, the presence of squirrels, or other animals in the vicinity. Start with mild distractions and gradually increase the level of distraction as your dog's recall reliability improves. Using different family members. It's beneficial to have various family members practice the recall command with the dog. This teaches the dog to respond to the command from different people, not just the primary trainer. It can help in situations where the dog might need to be controlled by someone else in an emergency, recording progress and adjusting techniques. Keep a log of your training sessions, noting the environments, distractions, successes, and challenges. Reviewing this log can help you understand which areas need more focus and allow you to adjust your training techniques accordingly. By incorporating these varied and regular practice sessions, you help reinforce your dog's recall command, making it a reliable response in virtually any scenario. This level of training not only increases the safety of your dog when off-leash but also enhances your peace of mind knowing your dog will return to you reliably. 8. Never punish after a recall. A critical principle in recall training, and indeed in all forms of dog training, is to ensure that coming back to you is always a positive experience for your dog. This means that even if your dog returns slower than you'd like, or after having been momentarily distracted, they should still be greeted with the same level of enthusiasm and reward as if they had returned promptly. Here's why and how you can implement this effectively. Positive reinforcement. Always use positive reinforcement when your dog returns to you. This could include treats, verbal praise, physical affection, or playtime with a favorite toy. The goal is to make the act of returning to you the best part of your dog's outing. This reinforcement tells your dog that coming back to you has the best outcome, far outweighing anything else they might find engaging in their environment. No negative reactions. It's crucial that you never scold, yell at, or physically punish your dog for returning slowly or after getting distracted. Negative reactions can create a negative association with the recall command and make your dog hesitant to come to you in the future. They might start to associate returning with being punished, which can severely undermine their training and damage their trust in you. Consistency in responses. Be consistent in your reactions to your dog's returns. This consistency helps reinforce their training by setting clear and predictable outcomes for their behavior. Whether they come back quickly or slowly, they should know they will always receive something positive from you. This reliability can significantly boost their willingness to comply. Gradual reduction of rewards. As your dog becomes more reliable in their recall, you can start to gradually reduce the frequency of treats and replace them with other forms of praise or occasional treats. However, this should be done very gradually and should still ensure that the recall remains a highly positive experience. Handling delays. If your dog is distracted and takes a while to return, maintain your composure and keep using a cheerful tone to call them back. When they do return, celebrate as usual. Over time, and with consistent positive reinforcement, these delays should decrease as your dog learns that responding promptly is even more rewarding. Training in varying scenarios. Regularly practice recalls in situations where distractions are present to improve your dog's response in different environments. This training helps to ensure that your dog understands that the expectation to return promptly applies everywhere, not just in quiet, controlled settings. By never punishing your dog after a recall and consistently providing positive reinforcements, you reinforce the behavior you want to see and ensure that your dog feels safe and motivated to respond to your commands. This approach not only builds a stronger bond between you and your dog but also enhances the effectiveness of their training over time. 9. Gradual off-leash training. Gradual off-leash training is the final and critical step in ensuring your dog's reliable recall, especially in uncontrolled environments. Once your dog consistently responds to the recall command with distractions while on the long line, you can begin off-leash training in safe, enclosed areas. Here's how to methodically and safely transition to off-leash training. Choose the right environment. Start in a secure, fenced area where there are no risks of your dog running into traffic or getting lost. This could be a private yard, a designated dog park, or another safe, enclosed outdoor area. The enclosure should provide enough space for your dog to feel free but still keeps them safe within a confined area. Keep initial sessions short and positive. Initially, keep the off-leash sessions short to maintain your dog's attention and focus. A few minutes of successful recall exercises can have a more positive impact than longer sessions where your dog might get tired or distracted. Gradually increase the duration of the sessions as your dog becomes more reliable. Continue using high-value rewards, even off-leash. Continue to use high-value rewards to reinforce the recall command. This continues to affirm that coming back to you results in the most rewarding experience, regardless of the numerous distractions that being off-leash might present. Practice recall at varying distances. Begin with short distances in the off-leash area and gradually increase the distance as your dog becomes more reliable. Calling your dog back from different distances helps reinforce their training and ensures they listen to you no matter how far away they are. Introduce more distractions gradually. As your dog becomes comfortable and reliable with off-leash recall in the enclosed area, start to introduce new distractions. Bring in other people, dogs, and different activities to simulate more realistic and challenging environments. This step tests and strengthens your dog's recall command amidst the kinds of distractions they will encounter in everyday life. Use intermittent reinforcement as progress is made. As your dog shows consistent reliability in coming when called, you can start to shift from continuous reinforcement, a reward every time, to intermittent reinforcement, rewards given irregularly. This type of reinforcement can be more effective in maintaining learned behaviors over the long term. Monitor and adjust based on performance. Watch your dog's responses closely. If you notice any regression, or if your dog becomes too distracted, it may be necessary to temporarily increase the frequency of rewards again or shorten the distance from which you are calling them. This adjustment helps ensure that the training remains effective and that your dog does not develop bad habits. Gradually transition to more open spaces. Once your dog is reliably responding in the enclosed area, you can start practicing in more open, yet safe, environments. Always ensure you are in a position to safely manage your dog should they not respond as expected. By following these steps, you can ensure that your dog's transition to off-leash freedom is successful and safe. This gradual and controlled approach not only builds confidence in both the dog and the trainer but also reinforces the training in a variety of settings, ensuring your dog's reliable recall in any situation. 10. Stay positive and patient. Staying positive and patient throughout the process of recall training is essential for both you and your dog. This attitude helps foster a productive learning environment and strengthens the bond between you. Here are some detailed strategies and considerations to help maintain a positive and patient approach during training. Set realistic expectations. Understand that training takes time and progress may be incremental. Dogs learn at different rates, and factors such as breed, age, and previous training can affect their learning curve. Setting realistic goals and being patient with the process helps prevent frustration for both you and your dog. Keep training sessions short and engaging. Dogs, especially young ones, have limited attention spans. Keep training sessions short, typically 5 to 10 minutes, to ensure your dog remains focused and enjoys the training. You can conduct multiple short sessions throughout the day instead of one long session, which might tire or bore your dog. End on a high note. Always try to end training sessions with a successful recall, even if it means reducing the difficulty or distance to ensure your dog can succeed. Ending with success reinforces positive feelings about the training and boosts your dog's confidence. Celebrate small victories. Every successful recall, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. Celebrate these moments with enthusiasm and high-value rewards. This positive reinforcement makes the training enjoyable and memorable for your dog, encouraging them to repeat the behavior. Use positive reinforcement techniques. Focus on rewarding good behavior rather than punishing mistakes. Positive reinforcement, such as treats, praise, or playtime, motivates your dog more effectively than negative consequences, which can lead to fear or anxiety. Be consistent with commands and cues. Use the same cue word and reward system consistently. Changing commands or the way you call your dog can confuse them. Consistency in your commands and your rewards helps your dog understand what is expected of them and improves their response times. Adapt training methods as needed. Be observant and ready to adjust your training approach based on your dog's reactions. If a particular method isn't working, it might not be a good fit for your dog's personality or learning style. Don't hesitate to try different techniques, such as changing the reward type or the training environment. Take breaks when needed. If you or your dog becomes frustrated or tired, take a break and resume training later. It's important to keep the training experience positive and not let it become a source of stress. Seek professional help if necessary. If you're struggling to teach your dog to recall, consider consulting a professional dog trainer. They can provide personalized guidance and strategies to enhance your training efforts. Enjoy the process. Remember that training is not just about the end goal but also about building a deeper connection with your dog. Enjoy the time you spend together during these sessions, as it contributes to a stronger, more trusting relationship. By maintaining a positive and patient approach, you encourage a learning atmosphere that supports your dog's development and strengthens the trust and bond between you, making training sessions something both of you look forward to. By following these steps and maintaining a positive and consistent training routine, you can help ensure that your dog will return to you reliably, even when off-leash. In conclusion, training your dog to reliably return when off-leash is achievable through a structured and consistent approach. By gradually introducing your dog to the recall command in a distraction-free environment, utilizing high-value rewards, and systematically increasing the complexity of the training scenarios, you build a strong foundation for your dog's obedience. The use of long lines and the careful incorporation of various distractions further refine this essential skill. Regular practice in diverse environments solidifies the behavior. Ensuring that your dog understands and responds to the recall command under any circumstances, it is crucial to remain patient and positive throughout the training process, treating each successful recall as an opportunity to strengthen the bond with your dog. The goal is not only to teach a command but also to foster a relationship of mutual trust and respect. With commitment and consistency, you will create a safe and enjoyable experience for both you and your dog, enhancing your adventures together in the great outdoors. As you continue to work with your dog, remember that each small step forward is a significant achievement in the journey of training. Stay consistent with your methods. Patient in your approach, and enthusiastic in your praises. Over time, your efforts will be rewarded with a companion who not only listens but also trusts and respects your guidance. Keep nurturing this bond, and enjoy the countless joyful moments of freedom and companionship with your well-trained, off-leash friend.